Welcome to the Principia podcast, episode 4. Today, I'm joined by Madison Gregory.
Hello.
Madison, say hello. Thank
Hello.
you. She's been a member with us for a long time as well, 2 years approximately, right?
Yep.
2 years in November, right? So a little over 2 years. And we're just going to get into kind of what her experience has been a little bit today. But first, most important question, this is a two-parter. What's the job that you currently have now?
I work for a software company doing marketing.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What is the job that you wanted to have when you were growing up?
Growing up, I wanted my career to be a dog.
Just to be a dog, not a dog watcher.
No, I thought I could be a dog. I thought that all dogs were people who grew up and decided to be dogs. So I thought I was going to be a canine.
Oh my. I mean, that explains your affinity for dogs.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and give your dog's Instagram if you'd like.
Oh yeah, Thor, Dalmatian. Find me.
On Instagram.
I mean, find Thor.
I
don't
Thor,
run it.
yeah.
I don't run it. It's Thor.
Which is just an extension of her, probably. All right. What was the biggest problem that you were facing before you discovered Principia CrossFit?
So I would say there was like a couple different parts to it. I would say I was pretty active in a gym before I ever found CrossFit, because I did go to a CrossFit gym for like a month before I found Principia, but that went out of business. There was nothing really wrong with that gym, but before CrossFit in general, because I really consider this like the first gym I've ever been a part of. It's kind of just stuck with me. And but I was going to the gym.
And to be fair, half the membership that you left is...
Yeah, that's true.
Basically.
Yeah, a lot of the people who went to that gym did transfer over to Principia.
Even the coaches, really.
Yeah, the coaches.
Mainly the staff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I was going to the gym. I would honestly, the thing was, I would actually go to the gym for like 3 hours. And so I was there, but at the end of each session, I'd be like, what did I do today? Like, did I even sweat even? I wasn't really even doing anything. I was going from machine to machine. I was texting on my phone. I was listening to music. I was talking to boys at the gym when I was single. Nick, if you're watching. But when I was single, and I would just talk to boys at the gym, talk to girls at the gym, I wasn't really working out. But that
So you swung both ways.
Yes. No.
No, sorry. I just thought that's what we were picking up on. I thought that's where this was going.
Stuck up people at the gym. And I just wasn't feeling fulfilled. My body really wasn't changing that much. I guess that was part of it, but I wasn't happy. Even when I did find myself, getting in good shape, I just still was just not happy. I was not fulfilled. I would say before this though, I had like a lot of, the biggest thing was just my mental issues, I guess I would say, is my body image. I had like a really, really poor body image before I ever started CrossFit. And yeah.
So just kind of lack of direction and wasting a lot of time and trying to get this goal that you're not really sure how to achieve, it sounds like, wasting tons of time trying to do it.
Yeah.
And you're not even 100% what the goal really was, is what it kind of sounds like.
Yeah, exactly.
So that kind of leads into that next question, which is, what was some of the frustration you felt when you were trying to solve that on your own?
Oh my gosh, so much. It was more anger at myself because I wasted 3 hours of my day with no results. I was mad at myself all the time because I'm like, really, I was there for 3 hours and I didn't break a sweat because I am not as self-motivated, I guess, as I thought I was. Okay. And just that for some reason, even when I did feel my body changing and I would see results, I still wasn't happy. And I think I had some more deeply rooted body image issues that I wasn't finding any relief from.
Okay.
And even when I did see my body changing, I was just frustrated overall that I wasn't seeing results, but when I did, I still wasn't happy.
Yeah. Can you talk about some of those results? What were some different results that you saw?
Physical results. So I would eat seriously nothing but like lettuce, and I looked great. I had abs, and that was fun. Never had abs before, but I was.
But yet you still had like what they call now body dysmorphia, sort of. So where you still see somebody who has problems with their physique.
Exactly. I still found so many things that I wanted to change, and it's funny. It started out where kind of this body dysmorphia, I guess you would call it, started out. It was a guy in junior high, and I had never had it before, but he you can't, if you're listening, you can't see my hands, but he like put his hands on each side of my leg and then put it to his to like measure that my legs were bigger than his. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was part of my body. And so then from that moment on, I just that's all I could see. So I think no matter what I did, no matter how much my body changed, I'm like, oh, I still have bigger legs, which, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that was like a frustration that you were having was really because all that time spent, all the results that you saw were actually maybe not the results you wanted. And part of that's probably because you didn't set that goal, right?
Right, yeah.
And then let's talk about what was different about how we went about that for you. Because it's not that, like, from what I see, I don't really see you chasing a physique right now. I don't see you chasing a physique at all, which is great. I think that's a healthy place for you to be at because you did spend so much time being in an unhealthy mental space doing that. So let's talk about what was different about how we went about that helped you.
I think one of the things that I first noticed about CrossFit, so I actually originally got into it because my boyfriend did it, and he loved it, so I was like, why not? Yeah, Nick Burt. Don't worry.
Oh, not the other Nick. Oh, okay.
Yeah, not the other Nick you see me with. But he was really into it, so I kind of started getting into it, and I loved just the fact that half the battle, I mean, it's so true, was just showing up, and then you guys were really good about just pushing me, and it's like if I'm there, I'm doing the workout whether I like it or not, and if I have injuries or if I have anything like that, you guys are so good about scaling it. And I think another thing that I really appreciated just that I got from the CrossFit community is that my body type is a lot more celebrated rather than me not feeling like I looked like other girls in the gym who were just ripped muscles, skinny, not skinny, but really, really petite legs. And my body type, I get compliments all the time on my legs where I'm like, wow, I never.
Yeah. Oh, in our space.
Yeah.
I saw you walk in and I was like, oh, potential.
Yeah.
Like for sure, because you have a good squat, you have strong looking legs, which is usually pretty easy to turn right into strong legs.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was thrilled with your body type, to be honest.
Exactly. I guess, I have girls come up to me all the time where they're like, oh my God, your legs are like, oh, your whole family has big legs. Like, you guys are so blessed. Yeah. I'm like, wow, I've never gotten this before. So I think that was something. That's a huge thing that I love about CrossFit is that, it not only celebrates my body type, but it just finds beauty in all different body types. Yeah. And when it doesn't put the emphasis on that.
Right. So, I mean, with CrossFit, one of the main things is that it's not focused on one thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's focused on all aspects of fitness. Mm-hmm. So if you're a swimmer, it has that focus.
Yeah.
Right? If you're a runner, it has that focus. If you're a weightlifter, it has that focus. If you like a mixture like boot camp style stuff, it has that as well. Right? So all those things don't have, each one of those things have the perfect body type.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
CrossFit, it has to be a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So a tall person is going to excel at certain CrossFit workouts, and they are going to suffer at other ones.
Yeah.
but that tall person can still celebrate their height on that day that workout comes
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with like someone like you, where your body composition really allows you to do Olympic lifts super efficiently.
Yeah.
Right? So in those workouts, you excel really well.
Yeah.
Right? So it's really, I think that's one of my favorite parts about CrossFit too, is that it does allow me to be challenged and humbled in one day. And then just kind of get up on myself on the next day.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy that aspect about it. So it's cool that you've seen that transition
at
our place.
Yeah.
And I think it's special that we could be a part of that. Can you take me through like a specific moment when you realized that what we were doing at Principia and what you were doing at Principia was working towards that?
I would honestly say, one of the first few days that I walked into Principia, because like I said, I was going to a gym before, and I guess I wasn't as motivated, and it's not the gym's fault. It was more my fault. I don't think I just found the right community, but I've always been such a big person, a big community lover, I guess. And that's something that I've found at Principia is just the community aspect, and the fact that I get texts from people saying like, where are you at?
Was there a moment?
A moment? Probably, yeah. I would say my biggest moment was when I was squatting. I remember this because I tell people this story. And I was doing it completely wrong because I just started CrossFit. And I thought I had squatted right my whole life, and Mitch made a correction. I think it was something about my feet, probably my knees. Probably they were going forward instead of outward, something like that.
I don't remember at this point in time.
But. And he made the correction, and I was able to squat so much more than I thought I was able to.
Do you know the number? How
before?
Much more?
Oh, I think I was squatting like 105, which you know that I squat a lot more than that.
Yeah.
And I think this is still the beginning of CrossFit, I think I ended up being able to squat like 170.
Wow, yeah.
Something like that.
It actually seems on par for what I've known you to squat.
Yeah.
So
and I've gone up quite a bit since
sure,
then. Yeah. But I was like, oh my gosh, like I think part of it was a mental. I like didn't really know how it felt to work really hard in a squat.
Yeah.
But I was doing it so wrong because I have had knee issues in the past. So I think part of it was the fact that I was scared to go down in the squat position.
Just fear movement a little bit.
Yeah, and he was like, put your knees out, go slow, don't slam into the bottom like you're doing.
I still have to remind you about that one.
Yeah, you still have to remind me about it. But I think that was the moment that I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm pretty good. Like I'm not bad at this CrossFit thing.
You move very efficiently.
Yeah.
Which, especially with like barbell movements, are excellent for you.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I would like to take note too for that moment is I remember seeing it on social media for you. Was you made a post, and you know probably more about it than me, but you made a post about your thighs. Mm-hmm. We already kind of talked a little bit about it, but can you tell me kind of like writing that post, maybe some of the reaction, maybe some of the feelings that you were feeling while writing that post? Because that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I would say that around that time was the moment I would say mentally I was like, all right, this is different, which I know is crazy because I've been doing CrossFit for almost 2 years now.
It's not that crazy.
But I guess that about the squat, that was more physical, where I was like, this is different. Like I can feel myself, I'm good at this, you know? But mentally, this was just a few months ago, but I saw these pictures come out that I think that Dan took.
Okay.
But he, I was looking at these pictures, and I was like, I like these pictures. Okay. And I was thinking, I'm like, if I ever saw these pictures a month before, I would have felt so bad about myself. I would have hated them because of the way I looked in them. And I would have never posted them. If they were posted on any social media, I would untag myself from it. Would have no association.
Me. Can you take that down?
I know. I would have no association with this picture with these pictures because my thighs looked big, because they kind of are, because that's just how I am. And when I saw those pictures, I was like, wow, like, I like these. I love the fact I've changed my mindset, is like, my legs allow me to do so much. It allows me to throw crazy amounts of weight above my head. That I am so thankful that I'm able-bodied and that I can do all these amazing things.
That's what the post was highlighting.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool.
It's changed my whole mindset. I would have never have even thought about any of that even months prior to that.
You are taking what was previously recognized as a flaw, that you recognize that in yourself. Yeah, you could talk about the kid in junior high, but that's one person who's a totally ignorant asshole, right?
Yeah.
But you recognize this flaw in yourself, and then what you did is you took that flaw and embraced it. Mm-hmm. And then after you could embrace that, you made the realization that this was never actually a flaw the whole time.
Yeah.
Right? And I think I've been working a little bit on it with myself, and I try to work on it with the people I work with too, is when you plant a garden, you use something called fertilizer. Do you know what farmers use as fertilizer? Shit. Yeah. Right? So I like to think of your negative aspects of yourself as the shit that is now the fertilizer that is going to grow something phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And I think when we can wrap our heads around that, our whole life can change, because now we're not looking through closed lens, but we're looking through the open lens, right? Our options become available to us. But it is a long journey to do that. You kind of alluded to that. And I've talked about it previously on this podcast, is it's not a 1-year journey. It's not a 2-year journey. You're just now getting that aspect, but there's going to be a new one. Yeah. Right? There's always going to be some sort of transformation and evolution of this process. Mm-hmm. And it's awesome to see that. Because body image in our society is rough, for sure. We all deal with some extent of body image issues. Yeah. So it's cool to see that you have found some empowerment through what we're doing. It's awesome. Yeah. Congrats. Thanks. What's life like now?
I feel a lot less self-conscious. I can never say that word. Cautious?
Just keep going.
I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say.
No, keep going.
But more intense, I feel less of
just
that.
Just need more reps.
And I feel a lot happier, and I feel more motivated, but I also don't feel as bad if I miss the gym, because I would say, obviously I still have, body image issues. Who doesn't? But I don't let myself get hung up on it anymore. Overall, I just feel a lot more. I feel better about myself. Yeah. I feel better about the way I look, just the way I feel, just my capabilities. I find myself judging myself a lot less, just on my physical strength, mentally, just the way I view myself.
When you kind of on what you just said, when you've cleared up that much room in your head to not judge yourself and not be so critical of yourself, what do you feel like that's enabled you to do?
It's just enabled me to, I would say, just overall just improve myself.
Okay.
Do better.
Any particular aspects? It doesn't have to be fitness related. So if you're really trying to make the answer fitness related, oftentimes it's not. You could think outside that box. I don't want to guide you too much to thinking things, but
I would say because when you have self-esteem issues, things like that, it's not just when you're at the gym, it's all the time. Yeah. You think about things like that all the time. It affects.
Starts consuming you if you let it go.
Yeah, exactly. So it affected my everyday life. It affected me when I was just sitting at home, or when I would pass by a mirror, or when I would try to go clothes shopping. And that's another thing. When I go clothes shopping, I don't get sad. I don't get sad anymore. I find myself being able to focus just more on the positives in my life. The things that are, good that are happening to me. I'm able to just focus on doing better at work because I'm more excited about the future and just me being myself. And
well, now you're not wasting 3 hours a day at the gym either.
Exactly. I have more time. I have
more time and more mental space.
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to get at.
I do. I just I spend about an hour at the gym, so I have a lot more time. And
you spend 1 hour getting your knee sleeves on, and then
finding my water bottle.
It's like our running joke at the gym.
Yeah, it takes me a while to put those things on for some reason. I don't know.
We always forget until it's like 10 seconds.
I'm like, wait!
All right. To wrap things up, I want to ask the question of, in regards to fitness this time, if you could put anything on a billboard that would help people similar to you, so like think of yourself 10 years ago, and you're driving in your car with your family or whatever, and you pass by a billboard, what would you put on that sign that would make the greatest impact on you?
Don't listen to Mean Boys in junior high.
Slash. Okay. Don't listen to Mean Boys in junior high.
Yeah, that would really, that would help me at that time, that particular time. But maybe just that I know this is used for something totally different, but that it gets better and you will find your happiness in something. So I think back then I was down on myself a lot. I critiqued myself a lot. So saying that it does get better and you'll find your happiness someday, that would have really helped me.
It does get better. ... You'll find your happiness.
And don't listen to Mean Boys in junior high.
All right, I think that's
Madison Gregory.
Cool. Any questions?
No.
All right, Instagram.
Oh.
That was me pointing at you to go.
At Madison L. Gregory, and then also at Thor.the.Dalmatian.
That's only one dot though, not two. Well, there's 2 dots. Well, let's do that again. Thor.the.Dalmatian. There we go. Make sure you give that a follow.
Yeah.
Full of lots of treats. All right, this has been Principia Podcast. Thanks for watching, guys. Click the likes buttons on whatever platform you're on. Thanks.
But then would I feel like Dr. whatever his name is.
I've been expecting you.